In this video, we will be talking about the rooming list resource, which will help you keep track of guest registration, payment information, and where everybody's sleeping during your event. Each Christian Retreats Network property has its own rooming list. For this video, we're going to use Lake Williamson's, and you can see that I have it open here in Excel. The first sheet is instructions on how to use this document, which is what this video is for, so we're going to skip that. So we're going to navigate down here to the registration information tab. Click on that, and this will be the sheet where all guest information is put. And you can see that we start with attendee information, which is just first and last name, address, phone, and email. After that, we have the room assignment. So in the first column, you have special requests, which could be like a handicap accessible room, or in our example here, Richard wants a ground level room. Next to that is the room numbers, which you will get from conference services, and you can either type them in or use the drop-down list. Keep in mind, if you type in a number that's no good, you're going to get this error. And that's just to help make sure nobody gets put in a room that we don't have. Scrolling along, you will notice that the first and last name columns do not move. They are fixed so that you can always see whose information you are inputting. So in the add-on section, which is next, we have event shirt, Friday lunch, and team building. And just like with the room numbers, you can only put wire in or it's not going to work. And you can set the cost and what you want these add-ons to be in a different tab, and we'll get to that in a minute. Next is the payment information, which is where you list out the package for each. It adds up the total, and then you can mark whether or not people have paid. So while we have some package rates in here, let's go ahead and set our own. By clicking on the rates tab down here, this is where we can make those adjustments. So we currently have a primary package, some extra packages, and then here's our event add-ons. So while we want to keep the event shirt, let's make it $12 instead of $18. And then instead of a Friday lunch, we will do a Sunday breakfast for guests wanting to eat before they check out. Now, your package rates can be set up however you want. Currently, we have number of nights, meals, and then dorm or motel style lodging, but maybe you want to do single, double, triple occupancy, or kid, teen, adult. It can really be set up however you want. But for our example, let's go ahead and add in an early bird rate for those that were on top of things, and we will set that at $75. Now that we have all our numbers in line, let's go back to the registration information sheet. And first off, you can see that Friday lunch has turned into Sunday breakfast, and event shirts are now $12. So then we want to move into the packages, and dropping that down, we now have an early bird rate, and it put us at $75. And as you probably saw, this changed. As you update these, as well as the package, it will automatically total up the add-ons and then adjust the total due. Next to that, you can put whether or not people have paid and how. Keep in mind, if you want to do installments or anything like that, do so on a different sheet by clicking the plus sign down here, because these cells over here are locked, as you can see based on the error I just got. And we do that to, again, try to prevent any unnecessary error. But if you are an Excel professional, you can go ahead and unprotect this sheet and use those cells however you want. We just don't suggest that because our cells are hidden, our formulas are hidden all over. So now that we have our rates set, we are going to go through all the lodging options, which here at the bottom you see these are WM, and then numbers, that stands for Williamson Lodge, and the section of the building it's in. And then we have Clark Hall, Parkside, and Lakeside. And as I go through these, you'll see that not every sheet is the same. And that's because these are set up with the layout of the building in mind, which means here at Lakeside on the west, 701 is next to 705, is next to 709, and so on. And as far as how many rows are in each room is the number that it'll hold. You'll see that in 713 here, we have graded out because it only holds 4, whereas 709 can hold a lot more. So we're going to work in the Williamson 100s, and you can see that Deanna and Brianna are already filled in because we gave them room 104 on the registration information sheet. But before we do any more, I want to point out this yellow highlighted section down here. Please note that dorm rooms have a minimum occupancy, which makes sure we provide the most cost-effective dorm rates for our guests. And this is for any dorm lodging. So let's go back into the registration information sheet and talk about overbooking a room. You can see that if I put everybody in room 104, nothing happens. But maybe we haven't quite hit our capacity for the room. So we'll add in a couple more people, Bob Smith and Beth B. And we will also put them in room 104. And hopefully by now we've hit our maximum. So going back into Williamson 100s, we will see room 104 is overbooked in red. But it doesn't tell you who the extras are, just that it's overbooked. So you'll have to navigate back into the registration information sheet and find who all is in that room and just change their room number. So once you have that all filled out, everybody has a room and no rooms are overbooked, you can head on over to the final tab, which is the Venue 911 list. And this, again, pulls from your registration information sheet and just provides a first and last name, phone number, and room number for all the guests, which is a great thing to print out for either yourself or for the venue so that in case of emergency, contact information is immediately there. And that's the rooming list. We hope you found this tool useful. If you have any more questions, you can contact the marketing team at 877-833-2272 or email info@christianretreatsnetwork.org.